In this session, we will deal with the basic principles of the spectroscopy, especially NMR spectroscopy and its application in determination of nanoparticles. Spectroscopy is basically the branch of the science in which, with the medium of electromagnetic radiations, we determine the structure of different atoms and the molecules. It is an important concept in order to understand the structure of the atom. The electromagnetic spectrum is an arrangement of all wavelengths ranging from visible light to infrared light. When any portion of the part of the electromagnetic radiation is imparted on any sample of the atom will not absorb all the atom will not absorb the radiation of all the particular frequencies. It will absorb radiation of only particular frequency, and on the basis of frequency absorbed by the atom or the molecule or the electromagnetic radiations emitted after the absorption from the sample, we will decide or determine the structure of the molecule. If structure of the molecule is determined on the basis of studying the portion of the electromagnetic radiation absorbed by the sample, this is called as the absorption spectra. Whereas if we will determine the structure of the molecule, that which portion or which frequency of electromagnetic radiation is emitted after the sample is imparted with the electromagnetic radiation, it will be classified as the emission spectrum. In emission spectrum, first we irradiate the sample or the atom or the any molecule in which structure we have to determine with the electromagnetic radiation, and we study the atom or the molecule which is just transformed from the ground energy level to higher energy level, and to regain it will try to regain its stability. The electrons will emit energy in the form of the radiation. The radiation emitted by the excited electrons will constitute a spectrum of discrete wavelength, and it will be called as the emission spectra. Some common examples of emission spectra are fluorescence spectroscopy, X-ray fluorescence, flame emission spectroscopy, and atomic emission spectroscopy. And in absorption spectroscopy, atom or the particular molecule or the sample is imparted with the electromagnetic radiation. This imparted electromagnetic radiation will interact with atoms, and their electrons will be transformed from the ground energy level to jump to an immediate higher energy level. The particular frequency of electromagnetic radiation which will provide that sufficient amount of the energy such that the electron of the atom or the sample can jump from lower energy level to higher energy level. That particular wavelength or the frequency of the radiation will be absorbed, and in this branch of the spectroscopy we will determine the structure of the molecule by studying the portion of the electromagnetic radiation absorbed by the sample. Some common examples of absorption spectroscopy are X-ray, ultraviolet, infrared, microwave, and the radio wave. These all are categorized on the basis of range of the frequency of electromagnetic radiations used in this technique for the determination of the structure of the molecule. Let us have a few points on the history of the NMR. In other words, we can say the journey of NMR to MRI. First, nuclear magnetic resonance was measured and described in 1938 by Isidore Rabi of Columbia University. He successfully measured NMR in the molecular beams, and for this part of his work he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1944. This concept was further elongated by Felix Bloch and Edward Mills in 1946. Herschel were able to expand on Rabi's technique, they were able to determine NMR for the first time on the liquids and the solid. And for this, both were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1952. First NMR machine was patented by US on July 24, 1951 by Russell H. Varian. Varian, the owner of Varian Associates, later developed the first NMR unit. Physicists two physicists in year 2003, Peter Mansfield and Paul Lauterbach, were first developed MRI related techniques in the later 1970s, and the two were later awarded Nobel Prize in Physiology and the Medicine. Here are some basic principles of the NMR. In NMR, there are three basic terms, that is the nuclear, magnetic, and the resonance. In any atom, according to the structure of the atom, there will be a nuclei which will constitute the proton and the neutron, and electrons are supposed to surround revolving around the nucleus. Since in the nucleus there is the proton and neutron as the fundamental particle, and proton is the positively charged, so and neutron is the chargeless. So nucleus is the positively charged according to the concept of the principle, the concept of the physics. If there will be motion or in any charged particle, it will generate magnetic moment or the magnetic field perpendicular to the direction of its motion. So when nuclei spin on its own axis, it will generate magnetic moment perpendicular to its direction of the spin. And in any atom, nuclei basically process two types of the motion, that is the precessional motion and the gyroscopic motion. Precessional motion and gyroscopic motion can be well explained by the example of the motion of the top, such as when a top is freed to move, it will perform two types of the motion. One motion is around the axis, around its axis, that will be called as the precessional motion, and other will be along the gravitational axis, which is called as the gyroscopic motion. Magnetic moment will be generated in the perpendicular direction, such as is shown in this figure. This is the direction of the precession. If this will be the axis of the top, or you can say the rod which is used in the top, then top will spin around this axis, and this will be called as the direction of the precession, or this will be called as the precessional motion. Whereas this motion which will be along the gravitational axis, this is called as the gravitational torque, or you can say that it is the gyroscopic motion. When nuclei presses around its axis, magnetic moment will be generated to its perpendicular direction. That is, in this direction, magnetic moment will be generated. And any nuclei or particular sample of any particular sample will not absorb the radiations of all the frequency. It will only absorb radiation of that frequency which will be able to flip if the nuclei, or we can say that which will be matched to its precessional frequency. The precessional frequency is a term which may be defined as the number of revolutions per second made by the magnetic moment vector of the nucleus around the external field H0, or alternatively the precessional frequency of the spinning bar magnet may be defined as equal to the frequency of electromagnetic radiation in megacycles necessary to induce transition from one spin state to another spin state. Actually, in any sample, any nuclei will be NMR active or not. It depends on basically on its spin quantum number. That is, an spin quantum number will depend, only those nuclei will be the NMR active. Here I have tried to explain some conditions in which any particular nuclei will be the NMR active. Properties of spin is a fundamental property of the nature. any unpaired electron, proton or neutron, that is any fundamental particle, will possess a spin of half. Atomic nuclei which are composed of the proton and neutron may also possess the spin. The spin of an atomic nuclei is determined by the number of proton and neutron. What will be the spin of any nuclei? It will depend on the number of the proton, or we can say that the number of the fundamental particles present in it. And another condition that any nuclei will be the NMR active or not, it will also depend on atoms with odd number of proton will have a spin. Atoms with odd number of neutron, they will also have a spin. Atoms with even number of proton and neutron will not have a spin. Means that any nuclei will be NMR active or not, it will depends basically on the number of the fundamental particles, that is the proton and the neutron. In other words, we can say that it will depend on the mass number and atomic number of the atom. We must have memorized that number of the proton present in any nuclei is called as its atomic number, and sum of the number of the proton and neutron present in the any nuclei is called as the mass number. So we can easily categorize that any particular nuclei will be NMR active or inactive depending on the number of the protons and the neutrons present in the it. Such as here is the condition for depending on the mass number and the atomic number. Ultimately, any NMR, any nuclei will be NMR active or not, it will depend upon the spin quantum number. But spin quantum number depends upon the number of the proton and the neutron. In other words, we can say that spin quantum number depend on the mass number and atomic number of the any nuclei. If mass number is odd, that is if number of the proton is odd in the nuclei, and sum of the number of the proton and neutron is also odd, means that mass number and atomic number both are odd, then spin quantum number for any such nuclei will be 1 by 2, 3 by 2 and 5 by 2. Whereas if number of the proton and the neutron, sum of the number of the proton and neutron, that is the mass number, will be odd and atomic number is even, that is number of the proton is even in any nuclei, such nuclei will also have spin quantum number value as fractional, and these two types of the nuclei will be the NMR active. Whereas if mass number is even, that is sum of the number of proton and neutron is even and number of the proton is even, also even, then spin quantum number for such nuclei will be the 0 and such nuclei will be the NMR inactive. Whereas if mass number is even, means sum of the number of proton and neutron in the nuclei is even and atomic number is odd, but number of the proton in the nuclei is odd, such nuclei will have spin quantum number value in integers, that is 1, 2, 3 and etc., and such nuclei are called as the quadrupole nuclei. So one nuclei from other nuclei is basically distinguished in the NMR spectra on the basis of its precessional frequency. Precessional frequency, which we have already discussed, that it is the number of the revolutions per second made by the magnetic moment vector of the nucleus around the nuclei or around its axis. So any particular nuclei in the NMR spectra will absorb the radiation of only of that particular frequency which will match to its precessional frequency. It may be expressed as such as here we have expressed the precessional frequency or the angular precessional velocity by W, which is equal to the gamma h naught. H naught is the applied field in the gas and gamma is the gyromagnetic ratio, that is which is equal to the 2 pi mu upon Hi, where mu is the magnetic moment of the spinning bar magnet, I is the spin quantum number of the spinning magnet, and H is the Planck constant. According to the fundamental equation, simply gamma h naught is equals to 2 pi nu, where nu is the frequency of the electromagnetic radiation. means that any particular nuclei in NMR will absorb only that particular radiation which will have the frequency nu. So one nuclei in NMR will absorb at different frequency, whereas other will absorb at any other frequency. On this basis, one nuclei from the other is distinguished in the NMR spectra. Whenever in any absorption spectroscopy, whether it is ultraviolet, IR, NMR, whenever a sample or any atom will absorb the electromagnetic radiation, there will be some changes in it. Such as in UV spectra, it is also absorption spectroscopy, but in UV spectra, when electromagnetic radiation is absorbed, it will promote its electron from lower energy level to higher energy level, and that is called as in ultraviolet spectra there is the electronic transition. Whereas when in IR radiation, any atom or any molecule in IR spectroscopy will absorb the electromagnetic radiation. It will lead to the stretching and bending vibration. That is the reason that IR spectroscopy is also called as the vibrational spectroscopy. But in NMR, when any particular atom, nuclei or sample will absorb the electromagnetic radiation matching to its precessional frequency, then it will lead to the flipping of the nuclei. Flipping of the nuclei is simply just transfer of the nuclei from lower energy level to higher energy level. Whenever any nuclei or any atom of this sample is placed in the electromagnetic radiation and it is NMR active, then basically there are the two conditions. One condition is that the nuclear magnetic moment or the magnetic field generated by the nuclear spin is of the same direction as that of the applied magnetic field. The blue arrow is representing the applied direction of the applied magnetic field, and here we have shown that the generated magnetic field due to the nuclear spin. In this condition, both the generated magnetic field and applied magnetic field are in the same direction, and this condition is called as the lower energy of the nucleus. Whereas there is another condition, there is another possibility that generated magnetic field due to the nuclear spin may oppose the applied magnetic field, and this condition is called as the high energy. So when nuclei will get transferred from lower energy level to higher energy level, then it is called as the flipping of the nuclei. Basically in NMR, whenever we irradiate any nuclei or any sample by the electromagnetic radiation, nuclei get transformed from lower energy level to higher energy level by absorbing the electromagnetic radiation resembling with its precessional frequency. So nuclei from higher energy level will also return back to the lower energy level. These two processes, that is promotion of the nuclei from lower energy level to higher energy level and coming back of the nuclei from high energy level to lower energy level is called as the flipping of the nuclei. As we know that nuclei from lower energy level to higher energy level will get promoted by absorbing the electromagnetic radiation, and nuclei from higher energy level will come back to lower energy level basically by relaxation process. And in any sample or in any atom or in any nuclei, there are two possibilities of the relaxation. Here is we have seen the flipping of the nuclei, that this is the energy, this is the lower energy level. Lower energy level will be the condition when applied magnetic field and generated magnetic field both will be in the same direction, that is aligned with the applied magnetic field. And here is the higher energy state. In this condition, generated magnetic field due to nuclear spin will oppose the applied magnetic field, and this is aligned against the applied magnetic field. This will be the higher energy. when any nuclei will be promoted from lower energy level to higher energy level, and it will come revert back from higher energy level to lower energy level. This condition will be called as the flipping of the nuclei, and this is the basic process on which NMR of any nuclei depends. This is the flipping of the nuclei. Nuclei will be promoted from lower energy level to higher energy level by absorbing the electromagnetic radiation matching with its precessional frequency, whereas it will be come back from higher energy level to a lower energy level by relaxation process. And in NMR basically there are two major relaxation processes. One is the spin lattice relaxation and other is the spin relaxation. Let us explain these two. Spin lattice, in spin lattice relaxation, magnetic field caused by the motion of the nuclei will get transformed into the lattice energy, such as in the form of the translational, rotational, or the vibrational form of the energy of the molecular lattice, and show the energy which it get transformed into the lattice energy. Nuclei will lose its energy and it will come back to the lower energy level. Whereas spin is the transverse relaxation. Transverse relaxation means that the magnetic field generated by the spin of any particular nuclei, if it will matches to the precessional frequency of the nearby nuclei, then magnetic moment generated by the spin of the first nuclei will get absorbed by the this nuclei, second nuclei or the nearby nuclei. In this way, the nuclei will lose its energy and it will come back to lower energy level. Further, this is the basic principle that when any nuclei or any sample will be irradiated in the range of electromagnetic radiation, the magnetic component of the electromagnetic radiation will interact with the magnetic field generated due to the precessional motion of the nuclei. Nuclei will get changed from lower energy level to higher energy level by absorbing the electromagnetic radiation which matches to its precessional frequency. Whereas nuclei will come back to its ground state by relaxation process, either by the spin lattice relaxation or by the spin relaxation. Now, we must know some basic factors on the basis of which we can determine or we can explain the spectra of any molecule. First, we should focus on that how many signals or how many peaks any molecule will yield in the NMR spectrum. So